Alright, so boom, I'm Presage,
I'm Charles.
I'm Donald.
and today we're here in this beautiful park, Washington Park, Albany, New York, and we're gonna be talking about.
Talk about the why. So the purpose of the why is, why do you work hard right now? What are you working towards, type of thing. So we're just going to have a discussion on it, and Prasad here was facilitated between myself and Charles.
Alright, so the why. What does that mean to you?
So for your why, it's almost like, why are you doing something? What are you motivated to do? So for people that are watching this, if you're in college, if you're at work, whatever you're doing, you're motivated to do something, right? Whether you're at work to get money to pay rent, or help your parents out with bills that you have, or if you're in school, the question is always, what's your major? When people ask you what's your major, it's because they're trying to ask you, what are you going to do with that major for the life that you're trying to live? So your why is always, what are you working towards? What are you motivated by?
So when it comes to the why, it seems like it has a set of value system that could be different for certain people. Like, for example, for you, what would be like a value system that you have?
A value system as in
Value system, and how does it connect to your why?
to me, well, for starters, the why for me is just like the grind. Grind wise, like I'm thinking long term. Like, we brought up earlier generational wealth. I want my great grandkids to be like, oh, if my great granddad, he was such a successful person, I want to be talked about. I want to be, known, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be remembered.
So if I could ask a question. So Charles, what is the lifestyle that you're living now that adds to the generational wealth that you're talking about? Like, what are you doing now in terms of grinding to see this life that you're talking about?
So as of right now, my main focus is school, because this is what's going to get me where I want to go. But like the little things I do, I take back bottles and cans. Like, I look like a homeless person doing it, but it's what you got to do. I take back bottles and cans. I just started saving my $5 bills. I don't spend $5 bills anymore. I put them like in a little jar. So like next year, a couple months from now, I've got a couple $100s to spend or to save, if anything, because I'm still trying to work up and buy a car and stuff like that. But yeah.
So in terms of the generational wealth, though, I heard you mention school and ways that you're trying to save money. What are you going to be doing after school once you're done with your degree that leads on to the generational wealth, or when you have kids, or when your kids have kids, type of thing?
So as of right now, my idea. Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, you can hold it, bro.
As of right now, my mindset is real estate.
All right.
Because if you get into it and you're good at it, that's money. Like, that's.
How did you get into that?
I don't know. I was up one night at like 3 a.m. on Instagram, and like all these ads for like houses and stuff, and I was thinking, if it's commission, like, these people are making a lot of money. Like, these big houses like Beverly Hills, LA and stuff, that's a lot of money. And it's like, it's gonna take time to build a reputation in that field, but I'm willing to do that, because like that's money I can put away for anything.
Right.
I already got the whole nursing thing going on. That's study money. Being a nurse is good money in itself, but also having a side business, a side hustle, like putting that away for a trip to Bermuda, like, or my grandkid's 17th birthday, like, just like pocket money. A lot of pocket money.
So I have a question for Donald. Knowing that you have more experience in life than both of us, how have you contributed to your why?
All right, so kind of beginning steps. So I did the same thing that most people do. Go through middle school, you get through high school. You graduate high school, and now you're trying to decide, what do you want to do? Kind of do college, do military, or just go straight into the workforce. What I did personally, I went from high school straight into college. I grew up in Brooklyn. I came out here into Albany. So when I came here, my first degree was pre-med. The reason why I chose that is because I kind of just following the money type of thing. I almost didn't know what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But Charles here has a chemistry class, and I was just sharing with him earlier that chemistry is kind of what made me switch my major. So that's what made me switch my major. At that time, I was learning that chemistry and being a pre-med major wasn't adding to my why. It was just an option, but it wasn't something that I was fully invested in doing. I wasn't motivated to do it. So when I switched my major, I thought about what actually motivates me and what actually brings me closer to my goal of, why am I working so hard right now? What is the purpose of all this? Why am I even in school? So I ended up switching my major to psychology. something that I like to do is I like to share the ideas and the life concepts that I've gained, either through experience or learning from other people or doing things like this. So when I switched to psychology, I switched in my sophomore year. The purpose of switching was so that I can be a school counselor. So I switched in psychology. I did my 4 years of undergrad here at Sage, and now I'm back at Sage doing my master's in school counseling. In addition, I also work at Sage as the academic coach for the Higher Education Opportunity Program. So doing what I've done from high school into my undergrad and doing it now, I'm kind of now in a place where I can give back in a way that I would always like to. So I'm trying to give back intellectually. Trying to give back to my brothers, try to give back to my sisters, try to give back even to the staff, the quote-unquote old heads, that are like older than us. Because just because people are older than us doesn't mean that they know everything. At the end of the day, we're all people, and the way that we bond is by sharing ideas and through the activities that we do. So that's ended up being my why. My why, similar to Charles, I'm trying to do generational wealth. For myself as a school counselor, yes, it's not a profession that you're going to make the most amount of money in, as opposed to like being a nurse or doing something out of real estate. But the generational wealth that I'm trying to promote is not money. Just because you hear the word wealth, it doesn't mean money. Wealth is a sense of lifestyle. The lifestyle that I'm trying to promote generational wise to my children and grandchildren is a life of ease. Not ease meaning that they will never have to work for anything, but ease meaning that they will never have to suffer to get what they need. They can do what they need to do to get what they want, but I don't want them to suffer to have what they need. Personally, my childhood sucked. My family and I, we suffered for the things that we needed. So now, naturally growing up, I'm motivated to make sure that my children and my grandchildren don't have the same childhood that I had or the lifestyle that I had growing up. So my motivation moving forward is, all right, by the time I have kids, I'll be damned if they ever had the same childhood that I had. Because at that point, that's what I feel like if I failed type of thing. When I look at my own children and I see that the childhood that they're having is the same replication of what I had, 20-something years before they were even born, you kind of fail at that point. So I'm motivated now. I'm grinding hard now so that they don't ever have to go through that.
Oh, I just real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing that was real deep. Like I felt that. I really felt that because I was thinking, I was like, yeah, like my childhood kind of sucked, but it only sucked because I wasn't like in with everything. Like I was like that bummy kid growing up, elementary school, going into middle school. Like I was that bummy kid. Like my mom, between me and my two older sisters, was working like 3 jobs. Like I rarely saw my mom. And then I was thinking like, and that's what really like, now I think about it, that's what really like, motivates me. Because my mom was like, we give back to like, homeless shelters. Like she actually does volunteering. Like you said before, she volunteers during like the holidays and stuff. And she does that because she doesn't want, like you said, she doesn't want like us as her kids to suffer. Because she's been through it all. Like she has stories upon stories, but she wants us to avoid all that. At the same time, going through experiences and stuff, like going through life, going through bumps in the road, because everyone's going to have them. But she doesn't want us to suffer like the same way she did. She doesn't want us working 3 jobs, trying to put food on the table for our 3 or 4 kids. Like, so that's why, like, that's why I think like long term, like generational wealth, because I don't want to suffer. I don't want to be old and nobody visits me. Like, I don't want that. I don't want my grandkids to be like, oh, I don't want to be forgotten. That's just me. I want to be remembered, but for something like, great. Like, oh, not like, oh, that famous rock star Charles Smith. I want to be like, oh, like my great grandfather started his own company and now we're rich, billions, knowledge, and all that extra stuff. That's just me, though.
Last but not least, PRESSAGE, Mr. PRESSAGE.
All right, since we're sharing about our childhood, for me personally, my parents, they have much money either, right? But they always instilled onto me making impact has a sense of wealth other than financial wealth, so to say. So that's really something I really want to carry out. I do my best to impact the people in my life that I deeply care about as much as I can. It's all about an exchange of value, and that's really something I want to pass on.
And before we wrap this up, because we're not trying to make a 20-minute video, to explain to the audience your why. Why do you work hard now? What are you working towards? What's the lifestyle you're trying to have or see by the time you're 50?
So by the time I'm 50, I really want to impact millions, maybe a lot of people, millions of people. I really want people to work towards being a better version of themselves, or even the best version of themselves. That's what I really want to see. Would you like to share?
I would, thank you. Me personally, I would like to, when I actually get that status level, I want to impact the youth directly, because that's where it starts. Like everyone says, the kids are the future. Like this. They are who's going to be taking care of me, us, when we're old. So instill those life values, instill that knowledge, instill all these great life concepts for them to carry out. And kids is kids, they're going to talk about it. Eventually somebody will catch on and be in the same wave. Like, oh, I like how he thinks. Let's do something together. Let's start this business up. Like, that's me. Hit the youth first. And then start from there, I guess.
And Donald.
It's funny that you say hit the youth first. So right now I'm in my master's program to become a school counselor, right? I finish next year. So the audience that I want to cater to or service is high school students. I kind of had that same idea, mindset. Serve the students first type of thing, because they're the ones that's going to be revolutionizing the world as they get older, as we get older type of thing. So my life when I'm 50, I want to keep doing what I'm doing right now, but do it with a lot more people. So recently, over this past 5 months, I met PRESSAGE and I met Charles. But as my years keep going on, every 5 years, every 10 years, I want to keep meeting individuals like Charles and PRESSAGE who want to share the ideas and their journeys to impact other people type of thing. And I just want to be like a catalyst and all that. My whole purpose of living, or the occupation that I'm doing now, is to empower and motivate people. I can only do but so much, by yourself, by myself. Meeting PRESSAGE has been a blessing, because I'm someone who talks too much, right? My nickname is the professor sometimes. But with PRESSAGE's and Charles' talents, they know how to do things such as YouTube. Because Charles is asking me, how come I don't have my own YouTube? I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand this culture. I don't.
Life concepts, but you're the old head I wish I knew before. I'm not saying I'm not trying to downplay everyone else, because I've gotten the stuff that I know. Like, I feel like the stuff that I feel like everyone should know, they don't. Like kids my age, like 17 years old. I just turned 18. Like, I'm young. There's things I think are like important. Everybody else is not on that wave, and that's cool. But if I would have had you as well, along with other people when I was younger, like, bro, like, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, Jay-Z. I might be like Jay-Z, bro, because you have like an encyclopedia of these wonderful jewels of knowledge, and it's just like, damn, bro, like, damn, you need a bigger platform. That's just me. You need a bigger platform.
And you know what? You guys are helping me figuring out that I need a platform, and you guys are part of the platform. So it's one thing for me to need a platform, but you guys are part of the platform that I need. You guys are the reason why that I do the major that I'm doing. You guys are the reason why that I'm motivated to keep doing the profession that I want to do, because this is it at the end of the day. Like, whether we're shooting videos together, after we're done with this video and we cut this off, all we do is we continue talking anyway. We continue sharing ideas with each other. This is what we do. We don't do it just for the video. We're doing it because we want to share it with other people. Like, this is what we do on a regular, but why not share with other people at this point?
So, with that being said, it's time for
quote of the day, baby.
Quote of the day.
You better open up that quote app. Open up that quote app.
So the quote for today is, to accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. Anatole France. So, isn't that crazy? We were just talking about similar topic. We didn't even plan this at all, honestly.
Isn't it random when it comes up on your phone anyways?
Right? It is.
God's plan, bro. God's plan.
So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.